because of what I went through, I was just like, I'll never trust a motherfucker again, you know?
Right.
So I met my husband, and he changed that.
And how'd you meet him?
Cheesecake Factory.
Really?
I was a server.
Wow.
And he was a bartender, and, you know, they always try to figure out who gonna fuck the new girl first, and he got me first.
He did?
Mm-hmm, and married me.
And locked it in so much that you wanted to marry him.
He
Wow,
did.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was so funny because it would be other guys. For some reason, foreign guys are so attracted to me. It's weird. Like,
Really?
they could be Jamaicans, Haitians. And I'm attracted to them too. I do consider myself a passport sis. So,
So if you hadn't found him, you might have moved off to a different country and sort of.
probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, sidebar. Do you respect the passport bros?
No, absolutely. They the reject niggas of the world.
So for the people who have made it to this point and don't know, it's basically an ideology pushed by a bunch of dudes who are kind of like an offspring of the men's rights movement, where
they're rejects.
Right.
They got a bunch of child support, baby mama problems and shit.
The idea is that American women are so toxic and so irredeemable that you need to go to Thailand and find yourself a little hottie out there, wife her up, and that way you'll be able to avoid, you know, a woman who's been brainwashed by feminism.
Till she come over here to the United States and then somebody hook her up, you know, hip her to who the fuck you are. And they're like, wait a minute, you wasn't shit when you came to get me.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't, girl.
I mean, I do understand where these guys are coming from, but it also is like the most pathetic thing you could possibly imagine.
My thing is for the black men, y'all flying all the way past the Caribbean, over Africa to Thailand to go get a bitch. And there's plenty of black women in Africa who are very submissive to black men. And they don't mind being second, third, and fifth wives and shit like that. You know, black women have never minded that. It's just the respect. And a lot of black men out here are asking for respect that they haven't fucking like earned. Like, get your shit together, then go get your bitch.
Right.
A lot of y'all want the bitches to get your shit for you. No.
Wow. But don't you think that like being a passport bro is kind of an expression of their rejection of black women in general?
There's one thing to be raised as a black American woman here, but then to skip over an entire continent who raises women to be submissive to black men.
Okay. Right. My conversations I have with guys on this show and whatnot, I have just kind of realized that there is a general sentiment amongst black guys that, and not all of them, but that black women are mean and that they are
black men
tough
are mean
to date. Well, I could probably see that side of it as well, but
they're mean, and we're just tired of them being mean. I married the nicest man on earth. This man has never raised his voice at me.
Really?
Never did. Like he tells me good morning every morning. 18 years, good morning. How did you sleep? You don't get that from black men. It's, you know, first of all, black men, I feel, and no offense to you, are the natural kings. Like, you know, that's why they got the biggest dicks.
okay.
You know, their physique. They cannot eat a great meal and fucking go do push-ups and just be ripped, you know? Like, it's just the stamina. That's why a lot of white women are fucking them. I mean, as you ain't your wife?
Case in
Jason
point.
Love?
Yeah.
Right. You even said for yourself. You know?
You got to get a professional if you want someone to do the job, right? No, but you go down to Skid Row here and you're going to see a lot of guys that haven't eaten for the past week. And they got a six-pack and big-ass deltoids.
God did that. The niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's why every single woman on the planet wants a black man, right?
Every single one?
Man, listen.
Maybe the ones who have been exposed to their greatness. It was
white women that freed the slaves.
Was it really?
Yes. Gave us rights to vote. They was fucking on our niggas. and then we was in their kitchens. Shit.
Well, I never heard that before.
Yes. Wow. Anything you want, anything past, you go to a white woman.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. But
but saying good morning and being like sweet and nice.
He is a he's a nicest
happy
man.
wife, happy life. If you want to keep your girl happy in the long run, as a guy, your like logical brain tries to take over at some point. You're like, well, I don't have to tell her she's pretty. I've been with her for 20 years. I already know she's pretty. She knows she's pretty.
He tells me I'm beautiful every day.
Yeah, you gotta.
I could be in my headscarf anytime. Like, we're best friends. Like, he don't let me go nowhere by myself at all. It's not even a conversation. He goes to me, you know, with me to every court date. You know, some people, their husbands don't even show up.
But did he leave his career behind at a certain point to support you? Oh, he got his own shit going on?
He's been in production. Like, all this shit that you see here, this is all he does.
Okay.
Movies, TV shows. You see our studio, this shit is set up just like this. Like this. He was doing this since he was 19. I didn't figure out what I wanted to do till I was like 27,
Okay.
28.
So what were you doing for all those years before?
Serving, being a housewife, didn't have to work, just spending money.
Okay.
You know?
When was your eureka moment? I want to do content.
Oh, I was working at a restaurant in Hagerstown, Maryland, and the radio station used to come in.
How'd you end up in Maryland?
Right. My husband had a transport company.
Oh, okay.
So he was doing video production and he had a transport company on the side, and I would, get contracts and stuff. So basically I stayed home with the baby. Because we had a baby, we got pregnant a month after we got married. And so I would just be at home getting contracts for him and the other drivers and stuff. And so, he was delivering and the other drivers to the ports of the DMV and New Jersey and stuff, where they drop off cars and shit like that. So we ended up moving up there so he could come home at night, as opposed to us living in Georgia and he has to come home once a month or every other month. So we moved the family up there. So, but yeah, I was, once that business, we had to file bankruptcy, of course, because, inflation, drove up gas prices. We went out of business.
Really? Okay.
Had a lot of fucking debt, filed bankruptcy, and we went back to the restaurant industry, and he was, still filming. So that's how we paid the bills. And, the radio station would come up there, and one day one of the radio personalities got sick, and they was like, we don't have nobody to host, and we told everybody the radio station was going to be here, and I was like, I'll do it. And I picked up the mic and never put it back down. Really?
And so you just were killing it from the very
Street
beginning?
Team, anything the radio station wanted me to do, anything the restaurant wanted me to do, I was doing it. I was all over motherfucking D.C. and Maryland.
And did you start rising up the ranks pretty quickly?
Yeah. I had my own radio show. I was hosting events and stuff. They were writing about me in the paper, So it's funny because people would reach out to me from Hagerstown. They used to be like, remember we used to call you the little Oprah? The little ghetto Oprah?
Was she an inspiration? Who inspired you?
Me?
No, there wasn't anybody you were looking at thinking oh, she's a great broadcaster. He's very
Nancy
talented.
Grace.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
What?
Nancy Grace. Oh, she's like a news anchor or some
Yeah,
shit?
you don't know. You white. You don't know who Nancy Grace is.
So I gotta Google this
That
one.
bitch yell on the air all day.
Nancy Grace. Oh, this one? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now I loved her because she was just, man, she would just fucking say whatever the fuck she wanted to say. And she would yell it, and I'm country, and I got that. And a lot of people didn't like Nancy because she would yell and, call people out and shit like that. So she was probably the only one besides, Jerry Springer. I watch a lot of the old talk shows Sally Jesse Raphael,
That's my
Donahue.
era.
Yeah, those are the ones that I like. But as far as my style, that's all my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you getting in trouble at the radio station? Because I could imagine you kind of going outside the boundaries of what was considered
They be like,
acceptable.
read this, and I do it my way.
Right.
Back to the street team you go.
Because the radio is totally different than YouTube, where you can just do whatever you want. You got to play by the rules, right?
And I would be so jealous the radio personalities being there, and I'm like, as soon as they got sick of something, they was like, all right, you can come read, and then I do it my way, and they be like, we told you to read it like this.
Right.
Back to the street team you go, bitch.
Really?
So I had to stand outside of Hardee's and shit and give out coupons with the radio station saying, we on site.
I need everybody to check out nojumper.com. We officially started a blog. It has in-depth articles about current events, music, etc., plus all of our content in terms of podcasts, interviews, etc. And you can get some exclusive new merch if you check out nojumper.com. So make sure you tap in.